second time I'm making this video because it was too long the first time, so I gotta try to be a little short-winded. So we didn't pick a theme, so this past week I went to Camp Sunshine, which is up in Casco, Maine, and I bought this shirt because it was tie-dye and I thought it was really cool. And they only give us these yellow volunteer shirts, and I like to have stuff to come back with me. I have like a pair of sweatpants, actually 2 pairs of sweatpants, a pair of flip-flops that my dog has been eating, so I bought a second pair of flip-flops that's a different color. Then I bought this bracelet, which is really cool. It's called Family Ties, and it's supposed to signify how a family is stronger woven together and can help one another through trials and tribulations better. And it's got like the Camp Sunshine symbol as its clasp, which I thought was pretty cool. But I'm going to spend less time talking about that this time and actually tell you about my week. So, Camp Sunshine, for those of you who don't know, I know Ryan does because I talked to him about it, I'm not sure if Beck does, or Hannah, or Hannah, what am I saying, Hannah, that's the character's name, Mac, who I saw her absence, and I hope that you're doing okay, we love you. Anybody else on CTC, I don't know if they actually know what Camp Sunshine is, but it is a camp for families that have a child with a critical illness. And I do oncology sessions. This week was actually off-treatment oncology, which means that all of the kids were in remission. Oncology, if you don't know, is cancer. Its children have any form of cancer. It can be from leukemia to neuroblastoma to Wilms tumor, anything that classifies as cancer and requires chemotherapy. And what I like about Camp Sunshine is it's not just focused on the kid that was or is sick. It's focused on the whole family. Like, the parents get their counselors and they get different things that they get to do, and they get group sessions where they get in with the psychosocial worker and get to talk to her and share their own experiences since they've all been through something similar, and they can share stories. And the siblings, who a lot of times while their sibling is sick get pushed aside or get put with other relatives and aren't always the center of attention and often get almost neglected, not intentionally, because of course, you know, the kid in the family that's sick didn't intentionally get sick, but I'm pretty sure there's some times where they get jealous of their brother or sister. They get the same treatment as their brother or sister. The only way that you know a kid is sick is their name tag has a star on it, and that's only for the counselors in case something happens and the kid gets hurt. You know that they were one of the kids that's sick and that there might be a history, like they might have one kidney, they might have some type of problem, and the lead counselors, which I was a lead counselor this time, have a book that tell them everybody's limits and like what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do. Like, some kids can't do contact sports, some kids can't go in the water, some kids have allergies. Like, it has all of that information, so you know like what kids have what limitations. But I just think it's awesome that the whole family gets treated the same, and the siblings appreciate it just as much as the kid that was or is sick. And you'd think that it would be a sad experience because you're dealing with kids that had cancer or have cancer, but the past 3 years that I've done it, it's actually been one of the most uplifting experiences of my life. And it's actually pretty cool. Like, you get to work with these kids who are so full of life after everything they've been through, and they appreciate everything you did so more, and the siblings appreciate it because they're finally being treated as an equal and they're getting this attention from you, and it's just fun for everyone. And I was with the 9 to 12 year olds the first year, which they're a bit more independent. They don't necessarily like piggyback rides or to cuddle, where like the 6 to 8 year olds want to sit on your lap, they want to have a piggyback ride, they want to be all over you, and they're so high energy. But the difference is the 9 to 12 year olds, after every meal you get them, where the 6 to 8 year olds, after lunch you get an hour break because they get a rest period with their parents, so some of them that might still take naps get to take a nap, and you get an hour off because they're just so high energy that sometimes it's really hard to deal with them. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just you need to be ready for that energy level, which we were. We had 18 kids and 8 counselors, and it worked out really, really well. And you don't think about like technology. Like, I barely thought about the computer or my phone. I only checked my phone at night after we were off duty and when we were hanging out in the volunteer lounge, or after we went back to the room when I was laying there trying to sleep. I talked to Ryan a bit at that point in the night. Most of the day is spent doing all different activities with the kids, like you do arts and crafts, there's playground activities, there's like the parachute. I don't know if you played with it in gym as a kid or anything. You do parachute play, and there's the waterfront. You can take the kids out on paddle boats and canoes, and it's all scheduled. Like, we're given a schedule in the beginning. The lead counselors are told, you know the rules, and this is this. And then you just follow the schedule, and it's pretty busy. Like, you have breakfast at 8, from 8 to 9, and then from 9 to 12 you have the kids, and then 12 to 1 is lunch, and then since we were 6 to 8, we had a rest period from 1 to 2, and then from 2 to 5 you had the kids again, and then 5 o'clock was dinner, and then after dinner each night they have a different activity. Like, the first night was the talent show, and then after the talent show they did a masquerade where you dress up in costumes and you dance. And then the second night, I don't remember what they did the second night, but I think they did a dance the second night, and my group of counselors decided we were going to go to the volunteer lounge instead and watch a movie, and we watched Mulan. And then they do like a celebration show the last night where every age group, the counselors have to put together a little like performance for their kids to do. My counselors, we put together Manamana from the Muppets, and during our free time one of the days, we made sock puppets for the kids, and I made one to take home because we had extra socks. So this is my sock puppet. You can't really see because the lighting in my room is horrible, but it has eyes here. It says I Heart CS, like Camp Sunshine. And then on the other side it has a sun and it says Camp Sunshine. And I took it home so that I would always have something to remember it by. And during arts and crafts one day, you get name tags, and this is my name tag. You get them immediately, but during arts and crafts you decorate them. And one of my little girls put all stickers all over mine, and it was adorable. And there's one sticker that's like a flag for a country, and I don't know what it is. It looks like it's France's colors, but France is, if I remember correctly, France's flag is vertical, and this flag is horizontal. The little girl is Lithuanian, so maybe it's the flag for Lithuania, but I don't know because I don't know what the Lithuanian flag looks like. I'm gonna have to look that up and see if maybe that's it. We had a set of twins, and one of them was the girl that helped me decorate my name tag. And I loved them. They were adorable. They reminded me of the Olsen twins. And the one that decorated my name tag palled around with me the entire time. She kept calling me her friend. She'd look for me and say, "There's my friend, there's my friend," and would just jump on me and hug my neck. And I was so afraid that she'd do it one time and I wouldn't be ready and I'd fall over with her on me. And that wouldn't have been a good thing. And her twin sister was a bit more like demanding and bossy, but she was just as cute, and they were good kids. I just think they wanted attention, which they got. We all played with them and loved them. And then I had a little boy who was from my town, and he just kept saying, "There's my counselors," and pointing to us anytime we were around and waving and coming over and hugging us. And there was another boy who was more shy, but towards the end of camp he started to open up, and the last day, today, because I actually just got home tonight, a few hours ago, it was an 8-hour drive, so I'd love to do more than one session, but it's hard because it's so far. I'd have to do them back to back, and sometimes it's really hard to find a session that it's possible to do that. But just the same, this morning when we were leaving and I went to say goodbye to him, he still had his sock puppet on and was like, "Look, I still have it on," and was all excited. And his mom had talked to us and said how he was shy, but he started to open up and he really loved us and talked about us. And he was telling us how he can't wait till next year because he'll be a 9-year-old, so he'll be with 9 to 12, and camp has a rule where you can't do the climbing wall or the challenge course until you're 9 years old. That's the minimum age. So he wasn't allowed to do them, and he's excited because he'll get to do those next year. And he was adorable. All of the kids were adorable. And then another boy that was in the group got so into our dance, which we had them dance to Manamana with the sock puppets, like I said, and he like was screaming it. I took a video of it, so if you have my Facebook, you can see I put the video on Facebook. And he was adorable, and his sister was adorable. She's, I think, a year and a half younger than him. And it was just a lot of fun. Like, the kids appreciate it, and they're so full of life. Like, you would really think that it's a sad thing, but it's really an amazing experience. And the kids are just so happy, and it's like one of the most uplifting things. Like, I'm happier there than I think I am anywhere else. It's like my happy place, and I never want to leave. I cry when I have to leave. Like, that's how this camp is. Like, you cry when you have to leave because you don't want to leave. And while I did miss you guys, I didn't really think much about technology because it's like you're just so busy and you're doing so many things that like you don't think about being on your phone or your computer. The only time I had my phone on me was sometimes at meals I would check it, but I wouldn't really answer because I was talking to families and I was kind of like helping out. And then at night, after the entertainment was done, when I was in the volunteer lounge, I would talk a little bit to Ryan or whoever was texting me or mobile amming me. And that was about the only time I really had my phone on me. And then until I fell asleep, I would have it on me. But otherwise, I didn't even really think about my phone. I kind of just hung out. And like volunteers, we had some awesome counselors. I made friends with a lot of the counselors for the 6 to 8s, particularly Lexi, Laura, Chris, and Cassandra, who is a top lot volunteer, but she was an honorary 6 to 8 because the first day when we had to put on the bear costumes, she volunteered to put one on even though she wasn't part of our group, so she had no obligation to do so. So we called her the honorary 6 to 8, and we really loved her. And it was just a lot of fun. Like, we enjoyed ourselves, all of us, every counselor. And it's funny because you think you're with the kids all day, you're watching like Disney movies with them, you're doing all different things with them. So you wouldn't want to do that afterwards. But every night that we went into volunteer lounge, we ended up watching a Disney movie. We watched Mulan and we watched Hercules. And we sat there, and during Mulan, we're sitting there realizing all of the things that Disney got wrong historically. And same thing with Hercules, but we still enjoyed them just as much. But it's funny because you realize when you're older and you're watching these movies, you understand jokes and things that you did not understand as a kid. And I'm like, how did I even understand or like this movie as a kid? Because now I get it, and I think it's great and it's hilarious. But as a kid, I don't know, I didn't quite get it as much. So it's really interesting. But Camp Sunshine is an amazing experience, and if any of you are interested in going or volunteering, I highly suggest it. You don't have to pay a thing to volunteer, it's just getting there. So if you have to take a flight, that's the price, but they'll pick you up from the airport. And they room you, they feed you, they give you your volunteer t-shirts. You just have to pack whatever else you need. And nothing costs you a dime other than travel. Like, we just had to pay for gas to get there because we drove 8 hours or so from me. And you only have to pay if you get like souvenirs. Like, I got this t-shirt and the bracelet, and I got a pair of flip-flops. And like last year I got my sweatpants and I have some sweatshirts. But other than the things that you buy, which that money goes directly to the camp, so it's for a good cause because it helps them to build new things and whatever, it's fully covered by sponsors. They get sponsors and people who sponsor families and who give them large sums of money to sponsor the camp. So it's pretty amazing, and like I said, I highly recommend it if you can get there. I know it's far for like Beth because you live in Illinois and it's in Maine, but it's awesome, and I will post the link so you guys can check out like exactly what it is. More than what I explained is on the website. Um, and I know I'm sounding like some things I say are probably worded weird or don't make sense, but I am totally exhausted because I have been there since Friday, and I just got in at like 7 o'clock this evening, and it's now 11:30, and I was driving for 8 hours from 10 o'clock this morning, but I was up at like 7:30 to go to breakfast and say goodbye and make sure that, because I was a lead counselor, I had to make sure that our game room, the 6 to 8 game room, was cleaned up and that everything was in order, and we had to do evaluations this morning for the counselors that were under us. So it was a very, very busy week and very busy day. So I am just tired, and I know I probably don't make a lot of sense at times right now. But I'm going to end this because my last video got way too long, and this is already at like 14 minutes. So I'm going to stop it before it can even be uploaded. I love you guys.